This is Serafin Lopez, and he's going to answer a couple questions. The first question is, why is diversity important in a college setting?
All honesty, I believe that diversity is important in a higher learning education system because diversity promotes critical thinking and it also deconstructs certain stereotypes of people. When a school is diverse, you have different people from different backgrounds, different cultures, coming together, learning something. The best way we learn is from someone who's different from us. We interact with those persons and we get to know the unknown. By getting to know people who would one day or once in our lifetime be unknown or like not similar to us, we begin to realize that what we fear of the unknown is nothing to really be fearful about. We get to experience, interact, become one-on-one, not see these people as different, but as in like, yeah, they're different culturally or ethnically, but we are one and the same, and we're human beings. And I think that's why diversity is important, because it brings us to think critically of ourselves and our perspective on how we're brought up, and learn their perspective and just interact with the whole world. It begins to communicate with other people. I just wanted to bring up this whole issue of it is an honor to be here in this room with every one of you guys, because 50 years ago, 60 years ago, none of us would have been here. And that's a reality that most of us don't see that. I know professors that I graduated from in high school that really taught me a lot, that they told me that how much a struggle it was to be a Latino in a higher level education. Our last, actually, sorry. There you go.
Just being a stopper.
But yeah, guys, so that was the reality of it, like 50, 60 years ago, that, you know, Latinos they couldn't attend college, or whether they made it hell for especially like high school students to go to college, because they couldn't even use the same washroom in that building with other students. So that's a sad reality, and I'm glad that we're in this day and age where Columbia, you know, it's so diverse. That's the biggest thing that they're going for, diversity. And so it's an honor to be here with you guys. I know one of my teachers, and even some of the teachers here at Columbia, had to struggle a whole lot, and even Latino Alliance, the first founding organization here at Columbia, protested to bring in Latino teachers and Latino faculty to this school. And that's why we have people like Albert, we have people like Jose, we have people like Carmelo Estridge in this institution. So it is because of these people that have fought for us that we should really appreciate, you know, all the work that they have done. One of the things that I was going to speak about was how Columbia addresses Latinos here in the school and how they go about it. Personally, I feel that Columbia does a good job, but could do way much better. I feel that Columbia, at least for my concern, is that Columbia, even though they're saying that they're really diverse, I think that they should do something more with the Chicago community here, especially with CPS schools, since they have like a 50% dropout rate that don't even come to college. I think they should really like have a reach out program, and maybe that's something we can start. Maybe that's something, not right now, but you know, generations to come, we could build a foundation for that and address it. And my biggest thing is, and I know this may be a hot issue with some of you, and maybe not, it's an immigration issue. I have family members, I have friends that cannot come to a university because of their legal status. So what I was going to do was an appropriation piece, which is a poem from Paul Flores that's entitled Brown Dreams, excuse me. So I'm going to just say that real quick, and then I'll let Matt go into his subject. So again, the piece is called Brown Dreams by Paul Flores. And it begins like this. This is a true story about a brown dream sinking to the bottom of the Tigris and Euphrates. This is a brown dream. He is 18 and Latino. He is in San Diego, Topeka, Buffalo, San Antonio, Chicago. He wants a piece of the American dream. Francisco wanted a college degree. The Army recruiter at his high school told him he served the military, he could automatically become a U.S. citizen. After 4 years of duty and an honorable discharge, there would be plenty of money left over for him to continue his education at a good institution. It was exciting. brown boy who wasn't even a citizen, who only had been a resident for 5 years, who didn't know much about education, was now willing to die to become a student. 1 year later, he was working on a tank unit fighting in Iraq. Francisco heard it was the second time the president had invaded this nation. They were driving in the desert, they were taking fire. Swerving, the tank lost control and headed straight into the river. As Francisco's lungs filled up with water, he remembered his last night out with his friends, how his mother, he wanted to cook dinner for him, but he didn't want to spend another hour in that cramped apartment where she cooked for 6 of his brothers, his 2 uncles, and their compadres. Instead, Francisco invited Jose and Diego out to the movies, because that's what Americans do. Now his soul is an ancestor in the Euphrates, Latino blood mixing with Arab soil, returning to the Garden of Eden by the way of the U.S. Army, same way he had come. Only this time, he would finally receive something he had been promised, an officially sealed envelope on top of Old Glory. Citizenship was never earned so graciously. Even if it comes posthumously, at least extended into the victim's family. The reality of the American dream is dirty. Why should Latinos have to die to earn an approval of this society? This is a brown dream. Brown as the bus ride union, brown as gasoline, brown as the Tigris, Euphrates, the Mississippi, the Rio Grande, brown as coyotes, brown as blood soaked in the sands of Iraq, and on the ranches of Arizona's border vigilantes. Brown as affirmative action in the military, but not in the university. This is a brown dream. So, obviously that wasn't my piece. That was of a very famous Latino spoken word artist. And he really did, when I first heard this poem, he really did touch on the notion of like how Latinos, you know, you're the outcast, you're the other. We don't want you here. But hey, if you're willing to die for this country, we'll give you a citizenship. And even if you die for this country, your family doesn't get citizenship. You don't really get anything. And it's like, and this is the whole notion of the American dream, and that's why he says the American dream is dirty. It's like, you should not have to die for this country, especially for an education. Like, do we really need to let ourselves be put in that situation to be approved? And I think we do not. I think that education should be respected, should be honored, and I think the institutions should do that, should follow on that. And that's why I believe Columbia should extend network or any scholarship to any people that wants to come into this university, because it is a great university and there's so many students out there that need that help, and I think it's not only up to the university but up to us to go there. So that was my piece, and Matt, I'll let you do yours. Okay. Other people.
Now I know you're the president of Latino Alliance. How do you bring forth diversity as part of the Latino Alliance, I guess, students, members, or throughout the campus?
I bring about diversity into Columbia by not only being the president of the org, because that's just the title, but I'm a member of an organization. I'm a member of this school, so just being president of the school brings diversity, because I bring in a background that's different from either yours or someone else in a classroom. I'm a first-generation Latino. Me and my sisters are first generation, so that perspective is different from someone whose family has generations of college graduates. Also, I come from a lower income neighborhood, so that also brings another perspective to my work, to the classroom, compared to either people who come from the suburbs or come from another country. So just having that diversity, people get to experience different perspective, people get to experience a different reality from their own, and I think that makes them grow and be a better person.
Do you feel that Columbia is a diverse campus as far as?
I believe Columbia is a diverse campus. It's one of their goals. They really want to make diversity an important role. I believe Columbia should do more for diversity. I think what Columbia has done has been accepting students that quote unquote are diverse, but I feel like if it's just like a model, like as a show, you bring in people from different cultures or from different things, but are you really concerning their issue? For me, it's like I'm a Latino. One of the issues that really important about me and in my culture is like the immigration issue that's going on in the United States. What is Columbia doing for not only me, but like for maybe a family member or a friend that's an immigrant that doesn't have the right documents to attend a university. How is Colombia reaching out to that community, to the Latino community, to the immigrant community, and saying, we are accepting diverse people. Just because you don't have the correct documentation, we're here to help you out. Like, if Colombia were to do something like that, or establish a scholarship that was, like, I know they have the diversity scholarship. If that diversity scholarship was open to, let's say, incoming high school students that don't have papers, that's really showing me that Colombia does care about diversity, does care about the Latino population, and does care in enriching Colombia's college life.
How do you feel Colombia, as we students, how do you think we should change that as far as, well, I guess Colombia being more diverse in their campus?
I think what Colombia has to do is play what its quality is. It's an urban college. It's an urban university. You have people from different cultures just a few blocks from here. Go down south, go down west, go down north. You have people from different cultures, and I understand Colombia's trying to become a world-class college, but to do that, you need to start here at home, which is Chicago. There's so many students that are from Chicago public schools that haven't even heard of Colombia, but are intrigued or inspired by art. That's something that they want to do, but Colombia doesn't reach out to them as much as that's how I feel when I was a high school student. I only found out about Colombia through my teacher, because Colombia didn't come to my campus. So I think Colombia should reach out more to the Chicago community in general, whether it be Latino, Caucasian, or African American. And by doing that, you're bringing a diverse crowd, because you're bringing in the inner city youth, which is a totally different spectrum from an international or from a suburb youth.
That's all I have today. Thank you for listening. Serafin talking to me. Yeah, thank you.